I'm back from outer
Yay.
space. From outer space. Just give me a second. I gotta fix the stream. There's so much that goes into getting a stream ready, like setting up the thumbnails and the
Oh, I know.
like everything that goes into like just like getting it up and
All
running.
the back end stuff.
And like
Yeah.
when it restarts, I've got to redo everything. So like every single time this happens, where the internet goes out, it's a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah. Also got a 5-socket ethereal man catcher that I don't know what would be good for.
Obedience makes a really sick obedience.
Yeah.
It really actually is amazing. You put that on a mercenary, they freaking kick ass. What's up, Scott?
Hi. That is my name.
Scott Sanderson?
Nope.
Oh. Well, now there's 2 Scotts. There's 3 Daniels and 2 Scotts. Congratulations. Can I get a Tim? Tim, anyone? Is a Tim? Okay, stream is set back up. Yay. Lost all my viewers. Boo.
Also have a really nice mist base too. 3 to bow and crossbow skills, 5 open socket, GMB.
Mist is a really amazing bow.
I've gotten a couple of really good.
Do I know why? Do I know why my streams dip out like that, Jay calls? Yes, I do. My Woogie downstairs literally unplugged the router. It's not the first time it's happened. And if I sound a little peeved, it's because it's not the first time it's happened. Or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth. You'd think at some point there would be like a connection of like, hey, this is bad.
Don't unplug this plug ever. Same thing happened to me the other day. But I had a power outage. It blipped hard enough that it reset the router.
I mean, that's
Computer
fine.
stayed running, but the router blipped.
That's not controllable. I mean, nobody's mad about
True.
that.
But I had to reset everything just like you did.
I remember one time though, the power went out and it was like a some dude like drunk as a skunk just like took out one of the poles. Like went around some curb going like 90 miles an hour that you can barely go around at 15 miles an hour, and just totaled the pole.
I actually had that happen years ago. I was on Call of Duty, and it's really weird too because everyone in my party at the time heard it as well. They heard the big bang, and then I dropped out, and they're like, "What the heck just happened?" And sure enough, I live at like the end of my street, and it was way up on the main road. Kid in a Mustang, you could hear the tires squeal. So he was racing or doing stupid stuff, and he ended up losing control, smashed the pole. The engine block was underneath the dash. He hit it so hard. Broke the pole.
Yeah, I mean, the pole was just shattered.
Yeah.
It's amazing how shattery you can make the pole.
I am overburdened.
Got a whole little collection of IK stuff here.
Right.
.32 MF on the IK helm.
Not bad.
Skin of the Viper Magi, huh? .23 all res.
I can't carry anymore.
First on the new stream. Yeah, first on the new stream. And salty ginger mentor over here. I just can't get over it.
It is what it is.
GGM all the auras.
Yes. It's the Aura bot, the Aura Den. I have 7 active auras. It's a really fun Fist of the Heavens build.
Yeah, Fist of the Heaven's pretty OP these days. Electric fence.
I am overburdened.
I was wondering why I wasn't doing any damage to anything. I didn't have salvation or on. Like, why is everything taking so long to die? I had frickin' salvation instead of conviction. I'm sure my survivability went through the roof.
Impossible.
Oblivion Nights for days. Jewel? Jewel?
Not even death can save you from me.
Heavy bracers.
Greetings.
Pretty high roll ghoul hinds. 192? Oh no, that's based on character level, never mind. Some set items on the ground if anybody wants these. Moving on to the next game. Yeah, Buriza's a nice bow, trustworthy. Especially if you upgrade it. But be wary of the really high strength requirement on the upgraded Buriza. Might want to look that up in advance. Just look up my Buriza video. I'm sure I upgrade it. Can't wait to try out the Steam Deck. Like, I bought a little dock so I can hook it up to the like a computer monitor and like a keyboard and mouse and stuff. Just to kind of like see how good it really is. Like, a lot of people have said that you can pretty much like practically use it as a PC. Not really sure how well that is going to work out, but we'll see. I've actually tried this before with another device that came out a long time ago. And one of the issues that it had was it wasn't enough power to actually support the device running at like full bore. Because for some reason how Android devices work is they don't run off of the power from the cord. So what they do is they run off of the battery, and the power from the cord charges the battery. And so basically, if the device isn't charging faster than it's draining, it just slowly drains away into nothing, and then it dies, despite being hooked up to the power source. And I'm hoping that the USB-C obviously provides the power that it needs to maintain that, but who knows? I never understood why Android devices can't just run directly off of the AC current when it's plugged in. Why it has to run off the battery. This isn't an Android device though. It's a was it a Linux-based device based off of the Steam OS, which is basically just like an offshoot of Linux. Maybe it can run directly off the AC current. Who knows?
Won't know till you try.
Supposedly you can even install Windows on it, but apparently some people have and they really regretted it. Like it was not a good experience. Something about like not enough driver support or something, I can't remember. Like it just didn't work out very well. Especially when used in handheld mode, apparently it just didn't work out at all.
Not even death can save you from me.
+2 Dragonflight.
I stopped identifying claws.
Oh, they are almost never good, but I'm always on the hunt for one that will roll good. It's just I know for a fact that they just like for some reason claws just have a disposition of not rolling good.
I just got tired of like finding a bunch of blues and a bunch of yellows running a Chaos Sanctuary, and every single one I identified didn't even have any skills on it.
Yeah, that's what
Let
I mean.
alone actually roll like
That's what I
the 2
mean.
to traps or 2 to all.
They seem to have a just like a I don't know, it's a propensity to not roll anything. Like they can roll plus the skills, but like unlike other items like you know scepters or wands or whatever that seem to almost always have like at least one skill on them. Like it seems to be the exact opposite. Like the claws almost always tend to have no skills on them. And
Yep.
like when you do find one with plus the skills, it's very rare. And it bugs me. I mean, when they do have plus the skills, they're worth picking up and they're worth selling, but or, you know, keeping if they have the right plus the skills. It's incredibly rare for no reason. I know it might offend some people's OCD, but I really wish the juvie potions would just go in the belt. Like, I don't care where they go, just go in the damn belt. Like, I'm tired of having to, like, automatically rearrange, or just rearrange the frickin' juvies every single time. Because they don't want to, like, go properly
Go in the
in
right
the slots.
Yeah.
Like, the health potions having their own slot is, I understand. The mana potions having their own slot, I understand. But the juvies do both. Like, they technically are both. Like, if there's an empty mana slot or there's an empty health slot, it should just go into those slots. Like, it doesn't... It's not that serious.
I just get to the point to where I stop running potions in general. I just run full juves across the board.
Nah, I can't do that. Full juves are not good enough to do that. The problem with full juves is that number one, they can't counteract poisons. So if you get poisoned and you try and cure the poison with full juvies, you essentially run into the situation where you're just spamming full juvies because your health is just draining down to nothingness. The regular health potions will counteract the poison slowly and will actually make it like less evil and more bearable. Same thing goes for mana burn. Like if you use only juvies, mana burn will also just simply strip all the mana from your character, and then you're stuck with basically spamming full juvies to keep your mana full. Whereas if
Yeah.
you run mana potions, the opposite happens. Like you can spam a couple mana potions, and it will slowly restore your mana up, so that every time you're mana burned, your mana is still in the process of restoring, and it helps tremendously in those situations. I mean, I like juvies, don't get me wrong, they'll save my life in a tense situation, but at the same time, like, they're really
Yeah.
awkward to use for certain things. So I don't like to have
agree.
only full juvies.
Hey man, I'm out of here. Gotta get ready for work.
Yeah, I gotta go to work tonight too. I'm literally just streaming until I gotta leave for work.
Yeah, I've been on since about 5 and it's 8.
All day long.
Yep. Oh. Alright man, later.
Alright, see ya.
Not even death can save you from me.
Was that Ironstone? Oh, that's Earthshaker. That's that really weird one. Don't like it. I don't like it. Wind Druid single hand weapon? I mean, it's okay for a Wind Druid. Oh yeah, you finally got to Act 5 Hell with your Summon Necro? Nice, Omni Dragon. Summon Necro owns everything, honestly. Once you get him geared out, he can just literally take on everything in the game. He's very good at it too. You're stuck at Mephisto. Mephisto. You stuck at Mephisto. $40 P gems for a Shaco. That seems like a very interesting deal. There definitely does come a point eventually where, Shacos are not really that rare. I think the main issue with Shaco, the Harlequin Crest Shaco, is that it's not like best in slot, I think, for like anything. I can't think of a build right off the top of my head where it's like the best in slot item. Like if you're a cold sorceress, usually you end up using Nightwing's Veil. If you're a lightning sorc, you usually end up using something like Griffin's Eye. If you're a fire sorceress, there's the Flickering Flame now, which is freaking excellent. There's all these like various items in the game which are better than the Harlequin Quest Shaco. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Shaco is a terrible item, but it's what's the term? It's not the best item to put on those characters, right? And so, like, it's just... It ends up getting found and then used and then taken off for the better item, and then before you know it, there's a whole bunch of them laying around that nobody actually wants to put on their head because they've got the better item now, the one that, you know, their best in slot item, basically. And so, like, it kind of, like, gets relegated to the back seat. What's up, NPC Stalin? You found my YouTube videos extremely helpful? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that they're helpful. That's their intention. Their intention is to be helpful. Sometimes they're not helpful, but we'll see. But I have no control over that. I just do my best. Go on, Infector of Peepaw. Am I going to stream it? What am I streaming? Oh, Baldur's Gate? Yeah, I'm streaming Baldur's Gate tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to do some classic Baldur's Gate. That's the idea. I hope you guys want to see some Baldur's Gate, because I'm going to play some Baldur's Gate. Is a war feast. What character? Isn't Baldur's Gate like all the characters? You're talking about the one that I'm going to pick? I usually pick the same thing every single time, if that's what you're wondering. Usually some sort of heavy, tanky character that puts on, like, the god tier armor of God and runs around being God. Like, that's generally what I do. Biggest, tankiest armor, biggest, tankiest shield, biggest, tankiest everything. I like my dude to be, like, right up front, just, like, in the business where he's not supposed to be, getting his butt handed to him. He probably dies, like, 6 or 7 times. Nothing I can do about it, but... Like, because Baldur's Gate has these BS... It's always had these BS janks. Like, I remember, like, back in the day, like, your character could literally be, like, the highest AC class ever existed. Like, he could literally have, like the god tier resistances, like extra blood crushing resistance, extra slashing resistance, extra piercing resistance, and then a boss would just, like, bop and, like, one-shot him, and the jank would that would like piss me off to no end, because this character would be like the tankiest, monstrously rock-like character that ever existed, and somehow the boss would just go and just my character would explode into, like, little bits and pieces. It used to piss me off so bad. I'd be like, what's the point of literally being a solid steel block, like literally a solid steel block, if there's a dude that can just walk up to me and just, like, touch me on the head, and my solid steel block disintegrates into dust. Guardian Angel Templar Code EPL. You need to get your hands on a Guardian Angel Templar Code, preferably an ethereal version, and upgrade it and socket it. Just the Guardian Angel Templar Code by itself, honestly, is enough, usually, to keep your mercenary alive. But if that doesn't work, combine it with Kira's Guardian. Kira's Guardian gives him cannot be frozen and all resistance is 65. And usually, Guardian Angel Templar Code and Kira's Guardian is enough to make sure that he doesn't die. Materials, it doesn't give max resistances. It's not gonna help. Oh, a storm shield. Anybody need a storm shield? Sexy, sexy. Sexy, sexy storm shield goes on your arm. Sexy, sexy storm shield does you no harm. Sexy, sexy storm shield protects you from woes. Sexy, sexy storm shield protects you from the hose. So many Oblivion Knights. Like, stop cursing me. Go away. Ooh, ouchie. Lower resistance. No thank you. It's always a pain in the butt when you have the Oblivion Knights with the Infector of Souls. They start cursing you with random things like amplified damage, lower resist. HP starts dropping like a rock. You don't know why. And notice you got little purple wispy things above your head. Yes, sir. Baldur's Gate tomorrow, Gabe. Baldur's Gate tomorrow. Gleam Sight Falchion. A G-Face. That's a nice little starter set there. Got a frickin' Storm Shield Monarch and a G-Face. Storm Shield, Monarch Shield, poopy face, big ol' butt. Oh, what'd he say? Oh, nice. You found an all-res 15 grand jammy. Sexy. G-Face. Wink. 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 Trangle's visage, the visage of the Trang, the visage of the Trang, Trangity Trang, California Trangin', California, got them California Trangins, California, on such a Trang day. On such a Trang day.
Good afternoon.
Am I gonna play evil? I never play evil Baldur's Gate. I always play good guy Baldur's Gate. I'm a good guy. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Randy. It's going good, pretty good. Except for the small hiccup of the stream getting reset because the internet went out. But other than that, pretty good, pretty good. Steam Deck's on the way. I got a sleepy dog next to me who's sleeping. Him's name is Cody. Cody the sleepy dog. The bad dog. He's a bad dog. He's bad. He's rotten. He's a rotten little bad dog. He's a bad, bad dog. He's a dog, dog bad. He's a bad, bad dog. Indeed, he's a bad, bad dog. He's a bad, bad dog. He's a bad, bad, bad dog. He's just a rotten little dog. Like, he does things wrong on purpose. Like, I catch him. I literally catch him in the act, and he knows what he's doing is wrong, and that's what really bugs me. Like, so like I'll pretend to go to work sometimes. I'll get ready to go to work, and I'll be like, "Have a good day." I'll be like, "See you later," and then I close the door, and then I pretend to lock it and everything, and then I sneak the door back open, and watch him. And literally 2 seconds after my butt leaves that door, his head is 8 feet deep in the trash can, pulling out whatever he wants to pull out. And I wait until he's got his head in the trash can, and then I literally scare the crap out of him. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he literally like panics, like a little kid who got his hand caught in the cookie jar. And it don't matter. It don't matter though. No matter how many times you catch him, no matter how many times you literally catch him in the act doing the bad thing, he's right back at it as soon as he feels like you're not watching. I mean, he's a rotten little dog. He's rotten. Little dog, sorry. He's a rotten monster dog. He's not a little thing. He's a monster. Oh, that's a very nice helmet. Wow. +2 druid. +3 summon grizzly, so +5 grizzly. That's pretty sexy. And then +1 heart of the Wolverine as well, with life, mana, lightning resistance. That's pretty sexy. A +5 summon grizzly helm. +5 summon grizzly. You got a +5 summon grizzly. Gonna summon all them grizzlies today. So, if you guys are unaware of how good that is, let me kind of explain it to you. So the grizzly bear is the damage for the summon druid, and unlike other characters, the summon druid actually does get synergy bonuses from soft points. The summon druid is one of the only characters in the game that gets synergy bonuses from soft points, which means that +3 grizzly on a helmet like that with +2 skills for +5 grizzly means you get a really nice massive bonus to the damage of your wolves and your dire wolves, as well as the grizzly bear, because the synergy bonus actually spreads to all of them for soft points. So as a summon druid, you want as many soft points as you can get. Like it doesn't matter. You're going to put on things like that. In fact, the ideal helmet would probably be something like +2 druid with like +3 grizzly, +3 spirit wolf, +3 dire wolf would be the ideal. I'm not sure if you'd ever be able to actually find that, but that would be an interesting option. So many monsters over here. There's a Caduceus on the floor. Spirit Wolf eye level is too low to spawn with it. I don't really know if that's true. I've seen high level and low level skills together before. Meditation, holy charge, holy shock and charge. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but look at the helmet. The helmet has Heart of the Wolverine. Heart of the Wolverine is the same eye level as Spirit Wolves. So it doesn't really that doesn't really wash, sir. It doesn't really wash. Ow. I mean, Grizzly is a level 30 skill, and Heart of the Wolverine is what, level 18?
Not even death can save you from me.
But you can get 5 summon skeleton. That's not impossible to get. That was actually easy to get. There's a trick to it. Hey, a man catcher. The Viper Fork. Ew. Ew, the Viper Fork. Ew. Ew. It's grody. Ew. Throw it away. Ew. So you guys, I was talking about this earlier. I don't know if you guys heard me because it might have been on the other stream. But I do have a video coming up. It's the top 10 worst uniques in Diablo 2 Resurrected. And the Viper Fork is one of those. That is one of the 10. The Viper Fork Mancatcher is an awful, awful unique. It's terrible, especially for its level. Oh, that's an interesting find. Let's check out the ED on this bad boy. Bone Snap Mall. That my video pops right up at the top. I am amazing. Do 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 do. Alright, so we're looking for 300% enhanced damage for this to be the best. We got 281F. That's actually really nice. That's 19% off of perfect. 19% off perfect. Anything specific I'm looking for? I mean, not really trustworthy. I'll put it together. It's not really a big deal. This paladin is pretty much finished. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything else to do. I don't have enough room for all this stuff. That's the second F low-level item I found in good condition. I found the frickin' perfect F steel driver earlier, which is also kind of nuts. My name is too Ginger. Ginger Gaming Mentor, or GGM. GGM is also acceptable. I was playing a game the other day on one of my little handhelds that I've got, and it's one of the older like Super Nintendo games. And it's one of those games where like literally you can only have a certain number of projectiles on the screen at a time. Like I think it's like 10 projectiles on the screen at any given time, and it literally won't let you fire any more projectiles until the last one disintegrates or something like that. And so like you literally have to get as close to the enemy as possible so that your shots are immediately disappearing, and that way you can fire faster than you otherwise normally would be able to fire, just simply because your shots are disappearing quicker. And as I was playing this game, it just kind of made me laugh, because I'm deliberately trying to exploit the shooting mechanic, because of course, you know, it's designed in a way which is frustrating. Like that literally you cannot fire fast unless you're like as close to the enemy as possible. And so you end up being like this like knee-jerk player where you're literally like 2 inches away from the monster, like spamming the button to get like optimal fire rate. Optimal fire rate. I remember one time a long time ago, I don't remember what game it was, so forgive me for not knowing the name of the game, but it was an old DOS-based game, so I don't think it really matters anyway. And I remember I installed this on my computer, and I tried to get it to run, and I managed to get it to run, but every time I turned it on, it would immediately go to a game over screen, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And it took me a little bit of time, but eventually I figured out that apparently the game didn't have any kind of like engine that actually ran off of like a set parameter. What it did was it was a really old game that ran off of the clock cycle of the CPU, and because it ran off the clock cycle of the CPU, it had a It was the speed of the game was directly determined by the clock cycle of your CPU, and since the game was made for a really old computer system, the clock cycle was like some really horrible like low number, and so as soon as you opened up the game, it used the clock cycle of your brand new computer, which was like many thousands of times faster than the old one, and so literally the game ran at like 10,000 times speed because it was running off the new clock cycle, and you would just immediately end up dead because the game would play at 10,000 times speed, and your character would just end up running into something and dying. And I could never figure out how to get the game to run properly, because I guess it needed some kind of limiter installed to prevent it from running off of that, like the clock cycle that way, so that it wasn't like just going too fast. But it wasn't in the game. The game didn't have any kind of limiter built in, so. So could not play the game, unfortunately.
Not even death can save you from me.
Legend, a Dragon Ball tail. That's actually not a bad little claw. You're talking about the new movie, My Bond Villain? The one that's supposed to revolve around our boy Brawley. Good Brawley, Miss Molly. Dragonflight, Blades of Ice, Lightning Sentry. How dare you be lightning enchanted? Oh, no, I haven't seen it. Ethereal Fascia. Fools, but no cruels. Sadness. Fools, but no cruels. And this bow actually is not that great. I mean, it's the same. It's meh. Meh. Serpent Lord? Yeah, I got a video on that, trustworthy. I'm pretty sure anyway. At least I should have. If I don't, I will, eventually. The problem with Serpent Lord is that 100% Mana Steel doesn't exactly work. it doesn't work. The problem is that the mana steal is based off of the physical damage of the weapon, right? And how much physical damage does Serpent Lord have? It's basically nothing. It's like 2 to 7, right? So like when you hit somebody with Serpent Lord, yeah, it's going to steal 100% of the mana back. But the problem is that 100% of 7 is 7. It's nothing. It's relatively nothing. And it doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get 7 back because it can also be 2. It's 2 to 7. So basically the mana steal on it is kind of a lie because it gives you this false hope that like, hey, you're going to be able to steal back all this mana and it's going to be great. But it just doesn't have the physical damage to actually give you any mana. I mean, you could upgrade it, but as soon as you upgrade it, it's going to go up a tier, and it's not going to be worth using anymore because it's going to, you know, at that level, it's not going to be useful. Pump points into strength. It also doesn't have any enhanced damage on it, if I remember correctly. It's just a raw weapon. A crowbar. It's just it doesn't do what it was actually intended to do, unfortunately. Serpent Lord is one of those weird staves that I think came from the time when there was no mana potions. If you guys are unaware of this, there was a time where mana potions didn't exist. You couldn't buy them, basically. Like, you could only find them, so they were exceedingly rare. And you had to have other ways to restore your mana. I think Serpent Lord came from that time period when the mana potions were basically non-existent. And after they made it so that you could buy mana potions in the store, it kind of, you know, obviously lost its luster. To your haunches.
I can't.
The haunches of the tear of the haunch. Have you seen the haunches of the tear? Not even death can save you from pee. Certainly would teach people how to build their characters better. +1 necro, nothing good. Grand charm from Diablo. +1 elemental with the 18 life. Not bad. That's actually pretty sexy. I mean, it's a Diablo charm, so it could technically be even sexier if you wanted to roll it, but why would you roll something like that? That's already pretty nice. Keep it, put it in the bank, tank. Keep it, put it in the tank. I don't got no room for nothing, no, I don't. Don't think bank like and go. Running out of space for everything, yes, huh? Am I gonna finish Throne of Darkness? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, I just wanted to introduce you guys to Throne of Darkness. Like, that was the real goal of that video. But, I mean, if you guys are interested in Throne of Darkness, we can certainly make it happen. I tell you what, other YouTubers do this all the time. Like, just whenever I'm watching them, I swear. It's like the thing that they do, okay? So if you guys are interested in another episode of Throne of Darkness, I want to see at least 100 likes on the video, right? So I'll even share it for you. This is the Throne of Darkness live stream from last Thursday. If you guys want to see another Throne of Darkness video, I need at least 100 likes on that video. If you can't get me at least 100 likes, I'm not going to do another episode. I hate to do it that way, but I need to see that you guys are interested. If you're not interested, then I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Whirlwind barb. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna drop some items for you guys if you're interested. So it's gonna be GGM swap 1, and the password is gonna be 16. And I'm gonna drop a couple items for y'all. All right, so I got an ethereal steel driver Martel Day fur, which is actually pretty sexy. It's a perfect steel driver. If you guys are interested in a perfect steel driver ethereal base, that's a really cool item. I've also got that +5 grizzly bear helmet, if anybody's interested in that. I've got a pretty sweet pair of ghoul hides. These are great for killing pindle skin if you do pindle skin runs. I've also got the ethereal bone snap maul, which is almost perfect. 281 is pretty close to the perfect 300. It's not bad. These can actually be upgraded 3 times, zodded, and it's actually a really amazing item for like certain characters, especially like a well, you could probably use it on a shapeshifter druid now, couldn't you? I've also got an ethereal blood thief brandy stock, which could be used on a low-level character. This is actually a pretty sexy weapon. And I've got a minotaur ancient axe. It's an interesting one for a whirlwind barbarian. A storm shield monarch shield, if anybody needs that. I've got a skin of the viper magi. A G-face, if anybody needs a G-face. I've also got this really sexy barbarian circlet, if anybody needs this. It's +2 barbarian, 5% mana steal, 30 life, 72 mana, and all resistances 10. I found that the other day. Also a bunch of Diablo essences, if anybody needs some essences. I've got tons of Diablo essences laying around. And if anybody's doing a iron golem necromancer, I have a +3 iron golem head here, which you could do splendor in, so you could get +4 iron golem. It's a nice little iron golem helmet. What else do I got to give away? Here's this elemental skills druid one that I just found, if anybody needs that for their Ellie druid. And we also have a bow and crossbow with 16 life. This one's actually also pretty nice. I got Trangul's Visage. It's pretty nice. Trangul's is one of the rare items of that set, believe it or not. A grave spine, if anybody needs a grave spine. I think I was actually saving this to do a video on. I might have been saving this to do a video on. Have I done a video on grave spine? I can't remember. I know the wands are definitely something that I've kind of not done as much, and I don't have a video on grave spine. I'll hold on to that for right now. Here's a really interesting ring. I'm not sure if anybody needs like a sexy ring, but it's a 7% lifesteal with 20 strength, which is kind of massive, and then it also has 10 life and 2 resistances. It's kind of an interesting little ring. Definitely good for a melee class. I've also got a +2 barbarian, 5% block, dual res ammy here if anybody wants that. What else do I got? I got some other interesting things to drop. I know I've got some other interesting things to fall. On the ground I'll give you, but I will not give it all. My shadow killer. The killer of the shadows. The shadow knows. Oh yeah, I had a Talzami. I forgot about that. If anybody needs a Talzami to complete their Tal set. That's why I gotta look around and I gotta like dig through stuff because I always got stuff hiding everywhere. I never even know what the hell I even got hiding because I just pack it away like a squirrel. The Council of Daniels. I had like 50 video games of old generation MS-DOS. Games that when I run them on new generation computer, not even a dual core or upper multi-core processor, only a single core processor that had a much newer generation. The megahertz frequency, and then the games could not be played, of course, ran at too much speed, so too much actually speed, more fast than 1,000 times then. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Stefan. And these are games that don't have any kind of limiter. They need limiters. That's the issue. No limiter equals bad. Didn't I have something else in here that I wanted to drop? I guess not. Have I ever tried to make a hydrodin? No, I have not, unfortunately. The scariest Diablo 2 monster in real life? I mean, in real life, the ghosts, I mean, they're immune to physical, right? So, good luck actually killing them. I mean... They can walk through walls. Ghosts just be trying to murder you and stuff. Alright, I'm going to leave this open for you guys. It's GGM Swamp 1 password 16 if you guys want to come in and grab some stuff. I'd appreciate it if somebody can stay in here to keep the game open while I go kill Diablo and stuff. Maybe I'll come back in here to drop some more stuff later. I'm going to go kill some more Diablos and find some more stuff. Gotta kill the monsters, kill them dead, and then I'm gonna not go to bed, 'cause I got to go to work tonight, and I've gotta make some money, yeah, oh, I've gotta make some money, yeah, gotta put it in the bank, oh, oh, yeah, gotta pay the bills, oh, oh, yeah, oh, I know I got to go, but I do not want to go, hey, ho, let's not go to work, oh, hey, ho, ho. Give me that circlet. Give me all these potions. Oh, wow. That's a nice little banger. +2 Sork, 16 energy, 41 life, all res 14. Not bad. Sorka, 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 sork. It's a sorka, sorky, sorky, sork. Oh, infector of souls, come on down around the corner. I will bop you on the head and tell you to go back to school. Oh, you puppy, don't dee little dee, don't dee da boot, won't dee, won't dee, buddy, don't dee la little dee la loot, don't dee. Not even death can save you from me. I'm afraid that it can, and I don't really care, cause I'm gonna kill you, Diablo pair. A vampire fang belt. Why is Diablo packing 2 rare crossbows? 2 rare crossbows, my friends.
Yes.
Hail to you, champion.
I mean, one monster is not as scary as a whole bunch of monsters, in my opinion. Like, yeah, Diablo's scary, but you might actually be able to, like, survive Diablo. You might actually be able to, like, figure out a way around Diablo, but you might not be able to figure out a way around, like a whole bunch of ghosts, like literally swarming into your room. Can I seal pop on P8? Yeah, I can seal pop on P8. It's a little bit more nasty. I dropped this Sorcerer's Circlet in here if anybody wants it. +2 Sorc, 3 min, and 16 energy, 41 life, all res 14. If anybody wants it, it's in the GGM Swap 1 password 16 game. I'm going to keep dropping stuff in here. Like, I don't, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to drop a bunch of crap. And if you guys want it, you want it. If you don't want it, then whatever. Yes, this is ladder. Let's put the chat up on the screen so you guys can see yourself talking. So you guys can be on candid camera. Oh, I see you there, Mr. Blue. What's up, Mr. Blue? Mr. Blue, Mr. Blue, you're dead, oh no. Man, you didn't even live long enough for me to sing a song. You just dead. There's another Mr. Blue over there. Oh, you immune to lightning. Alright. You're so very, very frightening. He's a frightening me, Galileo, Galileo. This dude dropped a grand charm and a small charm together. Garbage. Garbage. Green rings. What's up, Lord Decease? Your butthole hurts. How about that? Hey. So a green ring can only be one of 2 things. It's either Angelic Halo or Catherine Seal. It's never anything else. Ah, he's got Blessed Aim. Don't underestimate Blessed Aim. Blessed Aim is ouchie. Oh. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Taco Bell is delicious. And how do you do, Mr. FarQ?
What do you need?
Can't find a low rune to save your life, huh? Pretty sure you can trade sirs for lows. What are we opening Steam for? Teleport past you guys, cause you guys are the small fries. I need all the big fries. The chocolate covered salty fries. A burnt wand. Who was the guy who like held the wand over the flames? Just giggling the whole time. He's like, I'm burning the crap out of this wand, boys. Then he poured resin all over it. Rosin. Just drop one rune. What'd you get, my FarQ? Farquad. Ow, stop burning me with fire. It's rude.
I am overburdened.
Oh, well, congratulations. +1 Necro, +2 Bone Spirits. With 20% faster cast. It's kind of sexy, actually. I mean, it could be +2, obviously, but it's not. And, yeah. Not even death can save you from me. Not even death can save you from P. Bunch of junk. Let me check this blue helmet, I guess. I think that's pretty much it, though. Diablo is not giving me anything good today.
Hail to you, champion.
Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, this wand's too high level. At level 67, that's just too high level for this to be useful. I have played the Evil Dead game, Sage Necro. I played the entire thing all the way through. Beat it, even, and did some multiplayer. You missed it. You missed it, sir. Here is Evil Dead Part 1. And here is Evil Dead Part 2. Had pretty good views on those, too. Must be a lot of Evil Dead fans in the crowd. Hail to the king, baby. How much magic find do I have? I'm running a minimal amount. I've got like 100 to 100. I think it was like 100 to 200 depending on how I'm set up. I think I took my Geeds out specifically for this because I wanted to run faster. So I'm missing my Geeds magic find. I think I'm more along the lines of like 120. 120, 130%. If I got enough likes, would I play with you? You can play with me right now, Stefan. I'm in game GGM4, password 16. It's open to anybody who wants to come in. Come on down and play. Come on down and play. I don't really have the time, but come on down and play. I'm just killing Diablo all friggin' day, but you are more than welcome to come on down and play. Throne of Darkness. Like I said, if that video gets 100 likes, I'll probably do another episode. We shall see. Probably on Throwback Thursday. It's the Throwback Thursday. That's just going to be a thing I do from now on, by the way. It's Throwback Thursday. I'm going to play old games. I'll pick an old game maybe every Thursday. Maybe we'll play the same game 2 Thursdays in a row. It depends. But it'll be fun to play some Throwback Thursdays. Oh, my Necromancer has like 500% magic find and still has decent clear speed, Randy. It depends on the character. Although, honestly, you really don't need more than about 200%. I have bought the entire Titan Quest's like collector's edition, so yeah, we could play a little bit of Titan's Quest. Return of Zork! Oh, Zork! An ogre mole in a ghost armor. Pathetic. Ding 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. He gave me a dirk and it wasn't even a diggler. Diablo doesn't want to satisfy me. That's what it is. In any way. In any way, my boy. Best spot to find a 4 open socket flail. Why does everybody have trouble finding those? I find them everywhere. I swear the flail is like one of the most dropped items in the entire game of Diablo. You just look around. Kill stuff. Look around. Like, you'll find a flail on the ground. Like, if it doesn't have 4 sockets, roll it. See if it gets 4 sockets. If you don't get 4 sockets, find another flail. Roll it. Keep rolling it. If you don't know what the roll recipe is for rolling sockets, right here, look. I'm going to bring it up in chat for you guys. That is the recipe for rolling sockets in a weapon. Roll it, roll it. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Get them flails rollin', 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 rollin'. Rawhide. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Get them doggies rollin', 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 rollin'. Rawhide. In the arms of a stranger, an unsuspecting stranger who never knows the truth of wrong from right. But in the eyes of a ranger,
I am overburdened.
look, speak of the flail and it shall appear. Like, literally the flail, I swear, is like one of the most dropped items in the entire game. I see it all over the place. The only other thing that I'll tell you is that yes, you can roll them, but you can also take your magic find off, because magic find will hurt your chances to find white or socketed bases. Oh, Diablo, I will slice you in the butt. Diablo. An ethereal bone snap can actually be used in hell difficulty, believe it or not. Battle cestus, a throwing knife. Let's check the battle cestus. Garbage. Hot garbage. But it's worth money, though.
What do you need?
What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? You actually joined the game? Well, we're moving to the next game. Next game. GGM6. Doot, doot, doot. GGM6. Oh, 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 oh. GGM6. Password 16. It's the same password I always use. Don't abuse my password, please. Don't be la lump on peas. What's up, Mooncrawler? You're dead. And your mama's dead, and your daddy's dead. And your kid's dead. I see that might aura. Die. In pain and anguish, sir. Oh, look at you, you little champions and jank. I like champions. Come a little closer, champions. I feel like laying you down. You little Power Ranger monsters. We gotta kill you with a frown. Don't tell me what to do, or I'll take a big old giant poo. Come a little closer, Power Rangers. I feel like it's morphin' time. It's morphin' time. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Go, go, gaming mentor. Go, go, gaming mentor. Or other such favorites as Partizan, bringing your frames to 0. Somebody changed their name. Mr. T Baggins, you changed your name on Twitch. Why don't you change your name to that on YouTube? Why do you gotta have a different name on YouTube? Ow, Infector of Souls, stop hitting so hard. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself.
Not even death can save you from me.
Demon hide gloves. Hail to the king, baby. Level 3 power strike. Poopies. Power, power, power strike. Do 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 do. Power, power, power strike. Do 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 do.
Not in town.
Burn, baby, burn. Gotta burn that rubber down, getting out of town. Level 95. It's amazing how quick a Javazon can kill things when she has max level conviction and lower resist. Max level conviction and lower resistance. Have I ever played with Sweet Phil? No, I've never played with Sweet Phil. I haven't even really watched any of his videos. I saw a video pop up when I streamed the other day, and I went in and commented Chippy Bow and left. Chippy Bow. Chippy Bow. If you guys haven't seen my What to Do with Your Chipped Gems video that I just put out today, that is amazing. I mean, if you haven't learned of the Chippy Bow, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to do something with your life. The Chippy Bow. Chippy, chippy, chippies, can't you see? You just need to go in the bow for me, and I will use you on my level 1 character, and I will shoot everybody in the face. The chippy chippies. Chippy chippies. Chippy chippies. The chippy chippy. Chippy chippy chippy. A 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put some chippies in there just for me. Oh, chippy chippy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, chippy chippy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chippy chippy. Everybody keeps commenting on my video. They're like, 3 Ral runes is more superior to 3 chippies. And I'm like, 3 Tal runes is more superior to 3 chippies. And I'm like, no. I'm like, because 3 Tal runes is level 19, and 3 Ral runes is level 17. I was like, that's not how it works, okay? You can't use those at level 1. All right, the Chippy Bow is a level 1 extraordinaire bow, all right? You can't compare a level 1 extraordinaire bow to a level 17 bow. It's not how it works, okay? The Chippy Bow is for the noobs, okay? You put it on a low-level Act 1 Merc. You run one yourself. And you got 2 Chippy Bows firing at maximum capacity. I have chinchillas, Evan. If you've never watched any of my videos before, you wouldn't know. But my chinchilla is usually sleeping in my shirt. The only reason Mr. Nimoy is not with us today is because Cody is with us, and I don't want him to eat Mr. Nimoy. But if you want to check out my chinchilla videos, I actually have quite a few chinchilla videos. I'll link them in chat for you. Mini ball. Go, go, Mr. Nimoy. Go, go, Mr. Nimoy. Mighty Morphin Mr. Nee. Oh my god, I think he peed. Come on over and get some smackins. I got a crystal sword with your name on it. I don't know what kind of crack you're on over here, Vector of Souls, but you need to die. Oof, terrible ring. Not even death. Blah, 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 blah. Mr. NiNi Megazord? Hell yeah. Let's go. Piera Tumble Partizan. It's actually a really nice Partizan. If you ever get this while you're leveling up, you know, let me not, like, completely diss this Partizan, okay? Let me be kind, all right? So let's talk about this Partizan for just a minute since I was rude to it, okay? Number one, it has 30% fast hit recovery, which is a lot, all right? So for a Mercenary, it actually can come in really handy to keep them alive. Number two, it has really nice enhanced damage for its level at level 43, and it actually is surprisingly good for a Mercenary because of this. And then on top of that, it also has a 55% deadly strike, which basically means that you will do double damage 55% of the time. So putting this on a Mercenary, especially if you can find an ethereal one, is actually a really, really good polearm. It's halfway decent for a Barbarian, too. If you want to put it on a Barbarian, you can use it for like a Whirlwind Barbarian or something like that. Is it something that I'm going to hang on to personally right now? No. But if you were leveling up a solo Southbound character and you found this, put it on your Mercenary. It's a really good one. Dusk Deep. The Deep of the Dusk. Also a really nice low level one because it has +8 max damage on it with all res. Gaming addiction is real. It's not an addiction. It's something fun that you do. It's no different than watching TV. I've talked about this before with a lot of people, and I feel very, very strongly about this, okay? I feel very, very strongly about this. Playing games is no different than watching TV. Except playing games is superior, okay? And I'm gonna make my case, and I'm gonna convince every single one of you guys watching right now that playing games is a superior thing to do with your time than watching TV. So anytime, I want you to use this argument, anytime anybody gives you crap about playing video games, okay? And if they watch TV, I want you to use this argument against them, all right? It's really simple. When you play video games, you're playing with other people most of the time, okay? You're also interacting with those people. So you have 2 points up on the person who's watching TV. So when you watch TV, the best that you can possibly hope for when you're watching TV is that you learn something while you're watching the TV. There's no interaction with other people, not unless you have somebody else sitting in there with you. And most of the time when you're watching TV, you don't, because you're yelling at the person to shut up. So literally, when you're watching TV, the best that you can ever possibly hope for is that you learn something from what you're watching. Well, you can also learn something from the video game that you're playing. You can also talk to other people on the internet while you're playing the video game. There's hand-eye coordination that has to be done when you play the video game, which helps improve your hand-eye coordination. Playing a video game is by far the superior choice in terms of wasting your time than a TV. So anytime anybody gets on your case about the fact that you play video games and it's a waste of time, I want you to point out the fact that watching TV is an even bigger waste of time and challenge them to prove you otherwise. Because I guarantee you they won't be able to. They will not. Nobody grabbed my ethereal blood thief? Well, I'll take it back then. You don't want my ethereal blood thief. And you get it back. What else you guys leave on the ground? Some junk. Some junk. Some junk. Oh, y'all came in here, dropped your junk, and put the other stuff back on the ground. I see what happened. I see what be happening in here. I'm gonna pick up these circlets. Y'all don't want them. Y'all don't want these circlets. I'll put them right back in my stash. Y'all think I'm going no? You go play no games around here. Digga digga. I don't necessarily think that playing games is even considered wrong. That's the thing that really kind of interests me about the entire conversation, is that even if you boil it down to both are a waste of time, playing games is still the superior choice. However, I don't feel like playing games is a waste of time, because playing games has a strong impact on your mind as a whole. Let me go over the things here, okay? So first off, if you're playing a game that requires extreme hand-eye coordination, so like fighting games or a game that requires you like a Hollow Knight or something like that, it can improve your hand-eye coordination extensively. Puzzle type games like Myst or games where you have to constantly figure out things can extremely enhance the cognitive ability of your mind. You're constantly trying to solve puzzles. You're constantly trying to fix things. You're constantly trying to come up with answers to problems. This is something that enhances your mind as you play. There is also games that will give you trivia and knowledge you can learn from video games, especially the games that delve into the history of objects. Take Diablo, for instance. You might not know this, but a lot of the items in Diablo were sourced from museums. So these items, like the Archon plate, the war boots, the bone visage, like the Zakarum shield, a lot of these things, they went to a museum and they actually found these items and they actually pulled them out specifically because they were real objects. Rob Gallerani talks about it. They talk about literally that they literally went to the museums and found these items again because they were still there, and they took new pictures of the items and they literally went back and remodeled them off of the original item that they modeled it off in the first place. Like, these are real objects. This right here, Tabok's Glory, is literally a ceiling tile, or sorry, a roof tile that was on the top of the prince's castle. And in Korea, basically they have this mythology that basically demons are scared of like scary things. So they basically make these tiles that they put on like the roof or these statues and stuff like that. And it's part of their mythos that basically the demons are scared of these things. And so they would put these scary sort of like roof tiles and scary things like on top of or near like places where they didn't want people to go. And literally they would use this to scare off the evil spirits. So the Tabok's Glory is actually a real ceiling tile that was on top of a prince's castle. You know, there's all sorts of interesting bits of trivia and knowledge like hidden within Diablo that if you take the time to learn it is actually really cool. Like I have, if you want to like take a look at the Heaven's Brethren set video, I go over a lot of this. Let me pull up my Heaven's Brethren set video for you guys. Yeah, here it is. Heaven's Brethren. If you take a look at this video, I go over like all of the things basically that Heaven's Brethren was made after. The crown being like a princess's crown, the shield being the roof tile, the armor being a traditional armor used during that time period, and so forth and so on. And it's actually really cool information to learn. But games are like that. They'll teach you things, like, and they're very good at teaching you things because they do it in such a way that's fun. And, you know, like back in the old days, you know, when the teacher tried to make learning fun, a lot of the times if she succeeded in making learning fun at school, you actually had fun and you actually learned something that day. You know, you went home and you were excited and you were telling your dad about, you know, like the sunspots on the sun and how they were hot enough to melt a car in 0.5 seconds or something because the teacher, like, showed you a car melting in lava or something. And you know, and it was cool to you, and so it stuck in your brain. You know, that's the kind of cool stuff that happens in video games because it works very well to teach you things. Now, granted, some games are mindless. I'm not going to say that all games are worth playing, just like I wouldn't say all TV shows are worth watching. You know, not all TV shows are educational. Not all TV shows are going to teach you something. But you know, sometimes you need something to de-stress yourself. Sometimes you need something to help you relax, like maybe before you go to sleep. Heck, if I want to go to sleep, I could always play some Diablo 3. Diablo 3 always puts me straight to sleep. That was a sick burn, by the way. Feel free to laugh. The sickest of burns. Stop sucking all my mana away! Alright. And I'll even go as far as to say this, okay? Anything can be bad for you. Alright? Anything. You can literally like overdose on Tylenol. Like you can literally, you know, like do something too much to the point of absurdity. You know, even things that are good for you, like eating broccoli or something like that. You eat too much broccoli, you can make yourself sick. Like, there is many things in this world that if overindulged in can be bad for you. And I will certainly agree with that. And gaming is no exception to this rule. But, you know, but everything is like that, okay? If you overindulge in anything, it gets to that point, no matter how good it is. Cheese. Behold the power of cheese. Delicious and nutritious. It goes well on bread. We put it on our sandwiches. And we have it in our heads. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Give me some, please. I will take all the cheese. Give it to me, please. Blade talons, the talons of the blade. Terrible talons, the talons of the terribleness. Not even your bad breath can save you from me. Whoa, 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 Diablo. Not even your bad breath? I mean, come on, I do got some pretty bad breath. It's a ranking. Look, tacos are delicious, okay? Especially hard tacos. I love hard tacos. Those are my favorite. But if you're trying to fill yourself up cheap, burritos is the way to go, okay? Remember this, okay? If you have the money, buy tacos. If you're on a budget, buy burritos. Because burritos are delicious. Not as delicious as tacos, but they are, in fact, much cheaper and much more filling. You could fill up on, like, burritos at Taco Bell. Like, really cheap, too. I mean, if you got the money, buy the hard tacos. Them the janks, okay? Them the janks. I found a Burroon in P1 Arcane Sanctuary. Was able to trade it for an Ohm and an Annie and other needed charms. Rolled a perfect CTA. Let's go, buddy. 662. Wow, 662. Congratulations, Healthy Fiesta. That's a really nice roll on your CTA. And finding a Burroon is definitely a freaking accomplishment. And thanks for the $5, by the way. Sorry, I hadn't looked over here in a little while, and I saw your donation. I appreciate that, man. I also saw another donation pop up at the top of the screen, and I just missed the name. Oh wow! +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. It's actually level 24. That's not terrible for level 24. +1 druid, +1 tornado, +1 hunger, +1 feral rage. It's kind of all over the place, though. Unfortunately. Give me come and knock on my runes, and I'll give some runes to you. Come on down and give me a couple of runes. Alright, here we go. It's about to pop up back on the screen. Whoever it was that donated. I saw it up there, but I missed it. I missed the name. I saw the donation, though. Let's see who that was. Cow Hugs. I like Cow Hugs. Cow Hugs donated $10. Thank you, Cow Hugs. I appreciate that, man. Every doll hair is appreciated. I will collect them all and give my doll a new wig in your honor. In your honor. Let's roll an amulet. We're gonna roll one today. I'm gonna put a jewel of zircon in there, and we're gonna gamble away. Get ourselves a blue amulet and put it in the cube. And then we take all our ingredients and we see what we can do. And it's pretty terrible, not gonna lie. Has all resistances, but it's a spit in the eye. All resistances 19 with 45 cold and 25 lightning. It's kind of insane on the resistances, but doesn't have any plus to skills, unfortunately. Very defensive amulet. I mean, Battlecry is good for stunning things, Healthy Fiesta. I would actually put it on your bar for emergency situations. And what you want to do is just like when you have the opportunity to, like, I'm not really sure how to put it. When you're in a situation where you're in trouble, I would go ahead and just spam it a little bit. The AoE stun that it has is actually really, really sexy. You love chinchillas and cheese? Chinchillas and cheese, chinchillas and cheese. Who doesn't like chinchillas and cheese? Not necessarily together, you know. You don't want to put your chinchillas and cheese in the same doodad, all right? No, 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 don't put any cheese on your chinchillas, okay? No, 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 no. 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 I'm not a big fan of soft tacos. I like the hard tacos. I like the corn shell, you know, the corn tortilla shell. The tortilla that they use for soft tacos is flour based usually, and it doesn't really have quite the same flavor. Never been a big fan of the floury kind of a flavor that the tortillas have. They do sell a oh wow, 2-socket oil res 30. That'd make a really nice rhyme shield. Anybody need a rhyme shield on their paladin? Let her dual wield as long as one weapon is a claw. I mean, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. Die. The mouse is down. The chinchilla is downstairs because Cody is up here with me today. The big monster dog. If you guys haven't seen my big monster dog, he's monstrous. I have a video of him on my YouTube channel when he was a puppy. If you guys want to see, this is Cody as a puppy. Cody the puppers. The puppers. There you go. Cody the puppers. I literally told my girlfriend this too when I went upstairs. I'm like I want to bring my chinchilla upstairs. I was like, but I can't if I'm watching the dog. And she's like, well, I want to sleep. And she hadn't been asleep for quite a long time, so I agreed. But she said that I could bring Mr. Nimoy up tomorrow, and she will watch the dog. So, and the reason why the dog needs to be watched is because he tears up everything, like literally everything. Oh, there's a shoe, tear it up. Oh, there's a remote control, tear it up. Oh, there's a Red Baron box, tear it up. Oh, look, there's a trash can, tear it up. Oh, look, there's the side of the entertainment center. Oh, look, chew the side of the entertainment center up. He doesn't understand, like, that he is just the most destructive little crap I think I've ever seen in my life. The admin, because he knew the family doesn't play video games at all, you know what he did? He erased even the solitaire chess game, Minesweeper Hearts, and all the start menu intelligence board games. Yeah, a lot of companies do that. Oh, he's a bad boy. I tell him he's a bad boy too. I came home from work today, and he already knew that he had done something wrong. Like, he was immediately guilty. I didn't even do anything. I didn't even say anything. I literally walked in the door, and he was, like, tail between his legs, sideways, head down. And I'm, like, looking around the house trying to figure out what the hell it is that he did. And I couldn't find it. I don't know what it was that he was so guilty about. But he was guilty about something. Like, freaking 18 pounds of guilt on this dog. And you'd think if he was so guilty, he would stop doing the bad things, but no, he's just like, he does them and then he's guilty about it. He's rude. I got so mad at him one day. I literally had these stupid little shoes, you know, like slip-on shoes, and he chewed them up. I mean, he just destroyed them. He ripped off one of the straps. He chewed them to all crap and back. They looked like garbage. Even though I could probably still wear them, they looked awful at that point. And like I didn't want to. I was like embarrassed to be seen with them in public, right? So I went to Walmart and I got myself another pair. And literally like 5 minutes after I got home, he had them in his mouth and he was trying to chew on them. And they're not even like hard shoes. They're made out of like foam. And I took the shoe and I literally bopped him right on the head with it. And I'm like, it literally hasn't been 5 minutes since I had these shoes. Like we can't even have shoes like in the house anywhere near where he will grab things. And then what makes it even worse is like he starts to dig into stuff. So let me give you an example. So I had a box that was full of it was like a piece to a bed. It was like a bed frame extension. And it was only about yay big, right? I slid the box behind the entertainment center, pretty far back there, so that nobody would be able to get to it and so that he couldn't see it. The next day, he has pulled the box out from behind the entertainment center, ripped it open, destroyed everything, pulled the bolts out of the bag, literally, like, to the point of absurdity. Like, everything in the box was literally just ripped apart and destroyed, right? And I wasn't too horribly mad about it because I figured, hey, he saw the box behind the thing, whatever, I'll just pick it up. He didn't destroy anything because the stuff inside the box was, metal. It's not like he could destroy it. So I picked up all the pieces, I put the nuts and bolts in a plastic baggie, and I hid the plastic bag where he would not be able to see it. Okay? Put the metal parts back behind the thing because I knew he couldn't do anything to the metal parts. And the next day when I come home, he has the plastic bag in his mouth with the nuts and bolts in it. He went into the place where I hid the plastic bag and pulled the plastic bag out of there deliberately. Like, it was not out in the open. It was not somewhere he could see. And it was, like, high up and behind something. So he literally went up and, like, basically found the item and pulled it back out. Like a little kid, if you took something away from him, like say, for instance, you like, took a kid's Game Boy away from him, and then you took the Game Boy and you like, put it in your drawer in your room and was like, you can't have this. You've been bad. And then your kid goes into the room, opens the drawer, and takes the Game Boy back out while you're not there. Like that's how detailed this was. He literally hunted down the item that I took from him and got it back. He's rotten. He's a rotten little dog. And even my girlfriend thinks he's a rotten little dog. He nearly destroyed the entire house the other day. And, like, we only weren't with him for like an hour. It was like 1 hour. And he managed to destroy the entire house in an hour. Like, the amount of destruction that he causes in literally 1 hour is insane. I sometimes I try to picture it in my mind. I try to like close my eyes and just imagine like the devastation that he's caused and what he did to do it. And like I'm imagining like a Sonic the Hedgehog creature like bouncing off the walls at like Mach 19, just like destroying everything that he comes in contact with. I should set up a camera. Catch him in the act of being a bad boy. He did a bad thing. He's a bad dog. A bad dog. He did a bad thing. He did a bad thing. Boom, boom. He did a bad. 25% MF gloves with crushing blow. No IAS, unfortunately. No, could be 10% crushing blow. Not exactly the greatest. Meh. Mr. Nimoy can only go Mach 17. Hey, an Etnax. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Humongous. Is it 5 sockets? Only 3 sockets. Boo. 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 Oh, I accidentally did 12 instead of 11. My bad. And then it.
Afternoon.
So, going back to the whole, like video games are good for you kind of a thing. Let me explain to you something that that Diablo did for me. So when I was younger, I didn't like math. I couldn't stand math. I didn't want to do math. I'm pretty sure I was flunking math. And Diablo came along. And do you know what Diablo did? Diablo turned me into a math nerd. I was over here planning out characters on a sheet. I was writing down damage numbers and figuring out plus percentages and trying to like figure out the best number of of points per level and working out like all these different things with Diablo. There's so many different things you had to plan out back then, like especially because you couldn't reset your character. So once your character was was made, once you put the points in, like you couldn't get them back. There was no resets back then. So you were stuck essentially. Like you couldn't reset your character. So you had to be very exact. You had to be very 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 final with the way that you put your skill points in. And this led to some very interesting things when I was a kid. Literally scribbling in a notebook, trying to figure out the exact right number of skill points. Like when I needed to put a skill point into a certain ability. How many points I needed to put into strength, how much percent increased damage I needed, whether fanaticism was better than conviction or concentration, or there was all these different things that I was trying to finagle and figure out in the Diablo land. And if I still had my books, I wish I still had my books. They were notebooks from when I was 15, 16 years old, where literally I'm just like scribbling entire skill trees, like literally entire skill trees in the book. Like writing down how many points I'm going to put into each particular skill, and at what levels I'm going to put those points in, and what skills I'm going to use until I can get access to my main skills, and planning out characters like literally to the nth degree, and that's the kind of thing that these kind of games can do for you, is literally make a kid who would otherwise not be interested in any form of math whatsoever. All of a sudden now he's interested in math. He wants to know, how do you do a plus percentage? Like he's got a calculator out. He's running this stuff on the calculator, trying to figure out exactly how to do things. Somebody said they needed a 4-socket flail for their Hoto. I just found a 4-socket flail. I told you they drop all the time. You guys don't believe me. Whoever it was that needed this 4-socket flail, you better come into this game and get it. The game name is GGM12. Password is 16. Come get your 4-socket flail.
Not even death can save you from me.
It's even 13% ED. So you can beat somebody with it. Bunch of junk. Check the bow, though. Cold arrow, level 8. 60 charges of level 8 cold arrow. That's interesting. It's too bad it's got garbage for other stats.
Greetings.
You're better than ever. I can't wait till I'm playing Diablo 2 Resurrected on my Steam Deck just for lulz. It's gonna look exactly the same as it does now. I would think, because I'm gonna hook up a keyboard and a mouse to it, and I'm gonna run it. I'm just gonna run it like it's a computer. We're gonna see how it plays. We're gonna get a good amount of information out of it. Plan on seeing quite a few videos on the Steam Deck, by the way. I'm probably going to do a handheld mode Steam Deck video for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I'm probably going to do a, you know, like sort of a docked mode, like on the monitor. I'm going to mess around with the frame rate. We'll take a look and see what kind of frame rate it runs, what kind of texture, like resolution we can get it to, things like that. I'm assuming we can customize it so we can figure out like the optimal graphics mode. I'm gonna see if there's any kind of like tools that we can look at, like the heat on it, like how hot it gets. I mean, it's a little teeny device. We could also kind of rig up something like to put on top of it to help cool it off. It'd be funny to just like attach a heatsink to the back of it just for lulz. A big giant heatsink, just like a monster. I actually have a really cool copper heatsink that I pulled off my old system, which which would be funny. Speedums. Dang, it's a lot of uniques. That's a crush flange. So we got one unique. That's actually a really nice low level unique. The speedum. Not really the greatest. Lance of Yagai, it's not really that greatest low-level item. But the Chansey, I mean the Frosties, those are actually pretty nice. I mean, 3 uniques and a set item is a pretty good roll for that kind of stuff. Let me see if my swap game is still running. I'm gonna drop these on the ground in the swap game if any of you guys want this stuff. The Crush Flange, the Griswold's Valor, that's actually kind of rare, believe it or not. So if any of you guys are trying to put together a Griswold set, you might want to grab it. And the Frosties, drop that on the ground too. Also gonna drop this Superior Sacred Rondash with the 30 all-res, if you guys want to make a Rhyme Shield. And there's also a Teleport Staff right here, level 5 Teleport charges. This is the GGM Swamp 1 game. Have a too poor country, me being from Romania. You're from Romania? It's pretty cool. Razer has a phone fan. I was thinking something for direct contact. Like when you learn about like how heat works and how it transfers, the main methods of transferring heat away from something else are, number 1, direct contact, number 2, ambient. That's the second way, and then you can also remove heat by just simply lowering the temperature in the room. So it's kind of like what is it? Direct, convection, and ambient. Those are the three forms. But direct is always going to be better than ambient or convection, which is why I was going to like literally stick the heatsink on with like a freaking what's it called? Thermal tape. I was going to stick it on with thermal tape just for lulz. Could be interesting. Well, shoot me a link, Kyle. Shoot me a link. A link. Here, I'll add moderator so you don't get banned for shooting a link. Uh-oh. Kyle's a moderator, guys. Watch out. Copy and paste. Copy and a paste. Copy and a paste. Copy and a paste. Gotta do the pasting and the copying, but the copy comes first. It's a copying all day, and pasting on the tray. Oh god, double fanaticism. I feel like I need to take care of him before Lord DC spawns. That's nasty. Ow. Why is there so much fanaticism here? I mean, a contest is a contest is a contest, Stefan. I mean, if you win something, it's always fun that you won.
I am overburdened.
In Romania, we have the contest, and we put everything in the pot. Come on down. Doom, doom, doom. Whoa, Tomac. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You might want to rephrase that, okay? It's not a Steam D-I-C-K, okay? It's a Steam Deck, all right? I'm gonna have to hold that one for review, sir. Okay, we're not ordering any of those. All right, and if you are, it's probably for your girlfriend, okay? Pay attention, don't die. Oh god. Mercenary. My poor mercenary. My poor mercenary. You have 40 or 50 mices and keyboards. I'm probably going to have to get an extra mouse and keyboard for this Steam Deck. I just thought about that. Because otherwise, what am I going to use on my main PC while if I hook up my mouse and keyboard to the Steam Deck? Might have to buy another mouse and keyboard pack. What's a biomancer? He's the mancer of the bio. He's the biomancer. He's the master of the bio. Rest in peace, Flux. Who's Flux? Ooh. Multimedia RGB, red, green, blue, rainbows. You got a rainbow keyboard. Your keyboard makes rainbows. It's very, very nice. Lots and lots of colors that attract all the mice. Acid reflux. I used to have acid reflux when I was a kid. Oh, my poor Mercs. Oh, that's right. His name is Flux, isn't it? I forgot about his name. Did you link it yet, Kyle? Where's the link? I don't see no link. I see no link. I see Twitch, YouTube, boo baloob, Nightbot spamming stuff because Nightbot likes to spam. No link. A Razer Cooler Chroma fan. Razer Cooler Chroma fan. Let's look on Amazonians. For iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 series, MagSafe compatible advanced smartphone cooling technology 7-blade fan, 12 RGBs, LEDs, USB-C power cable powered by Chroma RGB. MagSafe and universal clamp. What's the difference between the MagSafe and the universal clamp? Does it have a heat sink in it, or is it just a fan? Like, because I don't want just a fan. I want a heat sink and a fan. Well, there's a couple of them out. Cell phone cooler, black shark magnetic cooler, cell phone cooling fun fan, magnetic wireless charger with cooling radiator for iPhone 13. Mobile phone cooler by Binks. It's a whole thing coming out now, huh? Interesting. Let's pull this on camera so you guys can see this. Why not? Because I'm looking at it and you guys can look at it too. Interesting. I mean, it's kind of interesting looking. I'll have to do some research and see what people say. I bet you somebody out there has figured out a good one for the Steam Deck. Apparently the Steam Deck does get really hot too. So, and there's one that has a clamp on it. It says universal clamp. I don't know what the hell that one is. Can always take a look at that one. I feel like that one would probably break though. Honestly though, I have this special stuff here. It's called thermal tape. It's a special kind of tape that you use specifically for you know, like attaching something to something else if you want it to transfer thermally. And I'd probably just like tape it to the back or something if I was going to do that. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to end up running it, but like if I do end up using something like that, it'd be interesting just to tape it to the back and just move on. As long as it's not like too obtrusive or in the way. No, my Pixel 5 doesn't really overheat very much. Not unless I put it in like a VR headset or something. Like as long as it has relatively good airflow, it's usually fine. But you said you got the Pixel 6, so maybe the Pixel 6 is different. A lot of people don't know this as well, is that phones generate a large amount of heat while they're charging the battery. If you guys don't know this, it's actually kind of a big thing. So, like, if you're trying to play a game, which is already generating large amounts of heat because it's going through your the GPU, or that rather the APU, and you're also charging the phone at the same time while you're playing the game, the battery charging process also generates a large amount of heat. So you have two things that are generating a large amount of heat at the same time, and you generally can't charge and play your phone with a heavy game at the same time without causing thermal throttling. It's like a known issue for any device that has a battery in it. If you don't believe me, just go and like let your phone like die down to like 10% or something like that, and then plug it into the USB-C charger or whatever charger it is that you have, and then wait about like 2 minutes, maybe not even 2 minutes, but like around 2 minutes, and feel the back of your phone, and you will see that the back of your phone will be extremely hot because the battery, it generates a large amount of heat while it's charging. So, you know, just in general, like playing a game which is already generating heat and then charging it at the same time is usually going to generate an excessively large amount of heat. Because, you know, heat kind of gathers together. Like, the more heat you have, the hotter things get, and the worse things are gonna end up throttling. And then your phone's gonna slow down because it's trying to control the heat creation. A foul rune? I mean, yeah, not awful. Those are great for obediences, and they have some other interesting uses. I don't need to buy a Pixel 6. My Pixel 5 is amazing. I'm going to stick with my Pixel 5 until it either dies or I drop it in the toilet or something. Don't drop your phone in the toilet. It's really not a good thing to do. Don't drop your phone in the toilet, 'cause the toilet's probably filled with poo. Could an iron golem made with 4 different on-death rainbow jewels proc on golem's death? I thought it'd be funny to troll PvP with if it worked. Yes, anything that you put on a golem, basically, for the most part, is essentially just like equipped to him. So yes, rainbow jewels would definitely work on death with the golem. $100%. And thank you for the $5, Sam. Thank you for the money. You're sticking with your Nokia brick? What, Pixel 5? You don't really need the updates. Like, even after the phone ceases to get updates, like, you're still good for, like, another, like, 2 years. So, like, you're talking about 3 years of updates, and then the last update will happen, you know, after the phone's been out for 3 years. And it's still good, honestly, for another 2 years after that. So it's usually fine. I mean, you also have to think about the fact that the Pixels are getting the most up-to-date files, like, out of most phones. Like, my girl's phone, like, never has the same version of Android mine has. Like, hers is constantly behind. Like, she won't get the same version as me until, like, 6 months to a year later. Ooh, Apple's terrible. Don't even get me started on Apple. Need to hop off the Apple bandwagon. No. Apple is some planned obsolescence stuff. So you guys know that entire thing that happened with Apple and their batteries, like, being bad or whatever, and they had to replace the batteries because they were secretly throttling the phones to make up for the fact that the systems couldn't support the batteries anymore. Like, I feel like I need to explain this in some detail and just how scummy it is. Let me use some graphics real quick here. Hold on. Let me go back to town for a second so I don't accidentally die. All right, I'm gonna pull up a notepad and we're gonna go over this real quick just so I can show you just how scummy the tactic is that they played. All right. So let me bring up a notepad on the screen here. All right, so these are going to be numbers that are specifically for demonstration purposes only. Okay, so don't take this as the actual numbers. All right, so let's say you have a phone, and let's just call it the X Phone 35. All right. Now the X Phone 35 has a battery, and the battery of the X Phone 35 is capable of a maximum output. A maximum output of, let's say, I don't know, let's just make up a number, all right? Let's say 15 volts. All right, so the X Phone 35 has a battery that's capable of putting out 15 volts at maximum load, all right? The phone has been manufactured to work with a maximum voltage of 14 volts. So as long as the phone never goes over the 15 volts that the battery is capable of outputting, then the phone doesn't shut off, okay? So basically the battery is capable of putting out more current than the phone is capable of using. So the max used current. All right? Now here's the problem, and this is what Apple did, which is why it is so scummy. Okay, so follow me on this. As a battery ages, okay, so as the battery ages, even 6 months old, the battery starts to lose its maximum output. All right, so the battery becomes different. So the maximum output of the battery is now only 14 volts. So it's barely keeping up with the maximum used current of the phone, right? Now flash forward a year. So battery ages 1 year. And the battery is only capable of putting out 13 volts. Okay? Now this is all make-believe numbers, but this is exactly how it works. So what happens when the phone tries to request 14 volts, but the battery can't deliver? The phone cuts off. Okay? This is the scummy tactic that Apple did to make their phones faster, basically. And what they did to make their phones faster was they basically set up the phone as if it would always have a brand new battery. So it has to have a brand new battery to be able to reach the speed that they advertised, okay? And it goes deeper, so it goes even deeper than this. So wait till you see exactly how scummy this gets. So knowing that the phone is only capable of reaching the advertised speeds with a brand new battery, and that as the battery ages, the phone would be unable to keep up with the speed that was actually being delivered, Apple started to send, the X Phone company started to send a packet to the phones as they aged that reduced the speed of the phones to accommodate the aging battery. I can't even spell accommodate. To speed to the lower battery output, okay? So basically what ends up happening is they advertised that the car could go 65 miles an hour. But when the car became 6 months old, they reduced it to 55 miles an hour. When the car became a year old, they reduced it to 45 miles an hour. When the car became 2 years old, they reduced it to 25 miles an hour. And so the X Phone 35 literally would decrease in speed every single time the battery aged to a certain point and was incapable of actually keeping up with the advertised speed. So the X Phone 35 was only ever, okay, get this here, was only ever at the advertised speed when it was brand new. Which means that if you don't have a X Phone 35 that is less than 6 months old, it's slower than the guy who has one that's less than 6 months old. And if yours is a year old, it's slower than the one that was 6 months old. And if yours is 2 years old, it's slower than the one that was 1 year old. And the reason for this is because they literally have balanced the phones so that the battery can't keep up with the maximum output that the phone is requesting. And if you look on the internet, if you go on and you actually try and find out this information, you will come across multiple websites which will basically tell you the same thing. That essentially the phone's battery can't keep up with the output that is being requested. And it gets really bad and it gets really scummy because you have to think about it just like a car. If you bought a car, you would expect the car to be able to go 65 miles an hour until it dies. But that's not how Apple set up the phone. They sold you a phone that could go 65 miles an hour, but only when it was brand new. And as your phone got older, they decreased the speed of the phone because they knew that if they didn't, it would just shut off all the time. The battery degradation is dramatic if you utilize the phone to its fullest extent. So here's the interesting thing about the battery degradation. If you never utilize your phone to the point where it requests the full power that the battery is supposed to deliver, it won't shut off. So like if you never pull up like let's use Diablo Immortal because Diablo Immortal probably taxes the phone like crazy. If you never actually play a game that can tax the phone to its maximum specifications, if you never step on the gas of your car to accelerate it to its maximum speed, you're never going to run into the issue because you're not requesting the full current that the phone requires. But anyone that tried to utilize the speed that was advertised would run into the issue. Now, Android doesn't do that. Android goes the other way, and it balances its output and its settings more along the lines of, hey, this is how much juice the phone is going to be using, like 3 years from now. Let's make sure that the phone isn't cutting off just because the battery is old. And so the phones are a little bit slower, but they don't have the same issue that the iPhones do, where they literally just cut off when the battery can't take the pressure anymore. I'm sure I could come across a couple links. Give me just a second. I could probably pull up like 2 or 3 for you, because I remember researching this when it happened, and it was all very hilarious to me. While they're brand new, no, that's the thing. They're balanced around being brand new. It's the entire idea of it is, hey, spend $1,300 on a new phone every 6 months, because if you don't, your phone's going to slow down because the battery's not going to be any good in 6 months, because we've balanced the phone almost deliberately around the the 6 month time period. So like as soon as you hit 6 months, your phone isn't good enough to be able to keep up with the guy's phone that's brand new. They called it Battery Gate. Battery Gate. I guarantee you that this is not something that only affects like recent phones either. It's probably something that's been in their purview for a very long time. It's probably something they're even doing still today. They're probably just trying to get away with it more sneakily. There you go. There's one of the links right there to the battery gate. It's most definitely not hype in the news. I've done enough research into it to know that it's 100% legitimate. It was any phone manufactured between the years of, what was it, 20... Oh, let me look at it again real quick. Hold on. It was any phone that was manufactured between the years of 2014 and 2016. And those are just the ones that we know about. So you're talking about any phone manufactured between those dates had the issue very specifically. And in fact, some of the phones apparently in 2017 had it as well, but weren't part of the class action lawsuit. I don't think it's overblown. I think it is underblown, if anything. I don't think people understand how scummy enough what they did was. Like, it was so scummy that literally, like, as a company, it would put me off using that company ever again. Like, you got to understand that they knew that it was an issue. They knew that the batteries inside the phones weren't capable of pushing the phones properly. They knew that they couldn't deliver on the speed at which the phones were capable of going. And instead of admitting it, instead of fixing the issue, what they decided to do was downclock all the phones so that they would go at a lower speed so that the batteries could keep up with the issue, despite the fact that they knew that the batteries couldn't keep up with the phones. That's like advertising a car that can go 75 miles an hour, and then 6 months into the life of the phone, you go, okay, well, we're going to make it so this car can only go 45 miles an hour, and that's going to be fine because the customer won't care. But people started to notice. It's not impossible for people to notice, hey, why is my phone going so slow? Why is my phone going so ridiculously slow? And then the other thing that they did, which was extra scummy, was when people called up and tried to, basically say, hey, something's wrong with my phone. It's going much slower than it's supposed to. Can you fix it? They pushed them upgrades. They're like, oh, well, your phone's going slow, then it must be old. You need to upgrade your 6-month-old phone to one of the new models. Yes, they did, in fact, know before they released the phones, AJ. This is part of why it's so scummy. Is basically what they did was they balanced the phones around brand new battery numbers and basically made it so tight in the limits that as the battery aged even slightly, the battery wasn't capable of keeping up with the numbers that they said they could deliver. That would be like me selling you a car that has some sort of experimental premium gasoline in it that makes the car run 85 miles an hour, and me advertising to you that it runs 85 miles an hour, but as soon as that gas tank of extra premium experimental gas runs out, the car can't run at 85 miles an hour anymore. Because, and you knew that when you sold it to me, you knew that as soon as the battery aged to a certain amount, it wasn't going to be able to keep up with the advertised specifications. Simpsons reference. A car may not run the same as when it ages, but it still runs 75 miles an hour. Even an old beater of a car can go 75 miles an hour. I had a car that was like 20 years old and it could still go 75 miles an hour. Nobody said half speed. We're talking about a diminutive amount of speed on the phones per their age. They were sending multiple updates to the phones as they aged. And as they aged, they would slow them down more and more. The older the phone, the slower it got.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Not even death can save you from me.
It sounds like you got lucky, AJ. $113 million lawsuit says otherwise. Ford 1983 Escort. You know, I think I actually have.
What do you need?
I think my brother had one. I think it was an Escort anyway. I don't know if it was an 83. Not 100% sure on that one. That was a long time ago. I remember it didn't have power steering. I remember that. It was terrible to drive. Cars without power steering are awful. AJ, people's phones cutting off because their phone can't keep up with the power output is dramatic. I don't care how you try to sell it or how you try to defend Apple. If I'm using a phone and my phone cuts off, literally because the power requirements can't be kept up with, that's dramatic. Like, especially if it's a brand new phone or less than a year old. Like, you're talking about literally you're using your phone and literally your phone just cuts to black. That is dramatic. And you're also talking about the fact that literally to prevent the cutting to black, they had to slow the phones down below the advertised speed of the phone. Yes, that's dramatic. It doesn't matter if it's only 10%. Like, if they had to slow down my phone because they can't maintain the advertised speed after as little as 1 year, that's terrible. And that is literally something that they should have fixed in the development of the phone, and I guarantee you that they knew about. They're not idiots, okay? They have to plan this stuff out, and the iPhone 6 was not the first phone that they had developed. You're defending a company that has made many, many phones and many, many devices beforehand, that is well aware of how batteries degrade and well aware that when the battery can no longer output the correct value of of voltage, that literally the phone just cuts to black. They knew that this was going to happen. Like, they put the phone together, and probably in the testing it occurred, and they probably decided to go ahead with it anyway because replacing the battery was probably going to cost them millions of dollars. Actually, who am I kidding? Billions of dollars. And companies do this on a regular basis. They basically go, hey, you know, do we want to fix the issue and spend, you know, like $1 billion today, or do we want to potentially have a lawsuit for $200 million later? And they basically go, okay, we'll just take the fine. The fine is less money than fixing the issue, so who cares?
I am overburdened.
Speaking of Android phones, the Pixel has literally been one of the best phones I've ever owned. There was a horrible flaw in the Pixel 1, which was unfortunate. They did replace it for me for free, though. The Pixel 4, though, and the Pixel 5, which my Pixel 4 actually, I dropped it in the toilet. But the Pixel 5 has been one of the best phones I've ever owned. Like, absolutely no issues whatsoever so far. Judging by Kyle's information on the Pixel 6, though, I'm not interested. I think I might wait till the Pixel 7. Speaking of the Pixel 7, did you hear that somebody got one? I mean, I disagree with you wholeheartedly, AJ. Like, I don't like Apple as a company. I see their scummy tactics on a regular basis. They overcharge for everything. Like, you can literally buy equivalent products to Apple products, like, for almost half the price most of the time. I mean, it's... The entire idea behind Apple products is a bad one. And it's one that's been exploited for a really long period of time. And honestly, the only reason I can even think of in my mind why Apple is still going is because some people just like to buy expensive things. And I think Apple has figured this out. Like, literally, if they have the most expensive product on the market, there is a guy out there who will buy it just simply because it is the most expensive product on the market. Not because it is the best product on the market, but just simply because it has the highest price. And it's something that I've just had to come to terms with, because it totally is a thing that people will do. They will buy something not because it is the best, but just simply because it is the most expensive. I mean, Tesla is literally lining up to be the next Apple. They've basically kind of just like competing with Apple for Apple-ness. Oh, I have a whole story about dropping my phone in the toilet. You guys want to hear the toilet phone story? Oh, I don't like Samsung phones either. I like Android phones. I don't like Samsung phones. Who wants to hear the Poo Phone story? You guys want to hear the Poo Phone story? It's been a while since I've told the Poo Phone story, so some of you may have never heard the Poo Phone story. Okay, the Poo Phone story. So this is a story about one of my really old phones. You know what? Let's get some visual aids up on the screen here. Hold on. We need a visual aid. Hold on. So I was really excited. This is one of the first phones that I ever owned. Really, like, seriously, it was one that I purchased, and I absolutely loved my phone. Okay, so don't joke on my phone. This was the phone to have back in the day, okay? So you guys can just shove it. If you guys don't like my phone, shove it. That's right. It was the LG Rumor. So this is the LG Rumor. If you guys never seen this phone, it's really cool. It has a pop out QWERTY keyboard. Had internet capability. Had some other cool stuff. It was blue. I liked it. It was blue. Okay. I had a freaking belt case for it. I had all sorts of cool stuff for this phone. Like I had like a little like extra big SD card. I think I had like a 4 gig SD card back when SD cards were like super expensive and 4 gigs was like $100. And I literally spent the time to get this thing set up. I had Tetris on there and all sorts of cool stuff. So anyway, one day I'm out with my family. We went to go watch a movie. I can't remember what movie it was right off the top of my head. Doesn't really matter too much. So anyway, we go watch this movie, and we're on our way home, and I realize that the car's out of gas. So we got to stop at the gas station. And I'm in the middle of pumping the gas, and all of a sudden, the worst, like, diarrhea hits me in my life. And, like, I have no choice but to run into the gas station, like, literally at the speed of Sonic the Hedgehog, to get to the freaking bathroom, because if I didn't, I was going to poo my pants, okay? And I mean it. Like, literally, I got in there, like, barely in time, to the point where literally, like, the poo was coming out of my butt just before, like, I was pulling down my pants, and, like, my pants barely cleared the poo before it hit the toilet. Like, it was like, and like, there was literally an umpire there, I kid you not, and he, like, watched the poo just barely clear the pants, and he was like, safe. And so, I'd sat down with a sigh of relief, basically. I had made it. I had made it to the toilet. No poo had got on my clothing. I didn't poop myself. Safe. Absolutely. Umpire's there, and he's literally going, safe. So, I finished my business in there, and didn't even think to look around, of course, because I was in a hurry, just barely trying to make it to the bathroom. And I look around for toilet paper because I'm finished, and there's no toilet paper. Then I look desperately over at the hand towels to wipe my hands with. There's no hand towels. And in complete and utter desperation, I look in the trash can to see if there's anything in the trash can that I could wipe my butt with. And the trash can was empty. Not even a plastic bag in the trash can. Somebody had came into the bathroom and literally just removed everything from the bathroom. No paper towels, no toilet paper, no trash in the trash can. There was nothing even on the floor for me to use. So I sit there for a little bit in desperation, like trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to leave. It's not like I did a regular number 2, okay? This was a horrible, nasty diarrhea number 2, okay? You're not getting away with a crusty butt, all right? That is not going to happen. So in complete desperation, I take off my undershirt, and I wipe my butt with my undershirt. And then I throw my undershirt in the trash can. And as I'm getting up to leave, I told you I had a nice little phone, like a belt phone case for my phone. So as I'm getting up to leave, I get up to buckle my belt, and my phone case slides right off my belt into the toilet. And did I mention that I had not flushed yet? So my phone goes right into the toilet in the case, my Poo Phone just straight in the drink. And without even hesitating, I reached in there after that, because this is my precious new phone that I just bought, so I'm not going to let it sit in the turds. And so I dive in there after it and grab it and literally pull it out of the case. And I'm smart, okay? So I literally pull the battery out of the phone immediately. All right, so if you guys are ever in this situation, you can't really do it with iPhones. It's one of the horrible things about iPhones, because they have non-removable batteries, and some of the newer Android phones do too. But if you're ever in a situation where any of your electronics enter any kind of body of water, the number one thing that you have to do is remove the power source. You do not leave it on, okay? You have to immediately remove the power source from the object. If you don't, it's never going to survive the water. Okay, so I removed the battery from the phone. All right, and I was so ashamed, literally, that I literally just gotten my Poo Phone stuck in poo that. Okay, I just went back to the car, and I had been so long in the bathroom that my family was like, they were like, what took you so long? And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it, okay? I don't want to talk about it. And they're like, no, really, you were in there for like an hour. What the hell happened? And so I tell them the whole Poo story, and they're just laughing their asses off at me. They don't even care. They're just giggling and laughing the whole time and at my misery. And so the next day at work, I've got a 99% alcohol, a box full of Q-tips, a screwdrivers. I was working call center at the time, and I'm sitting there taking apart my phone piece by piece and cleaning every single part of this phone with 99% isopropyl alcohol. And after I am fully satisfied that I have cleaned this phone inside and out, literally taking it apart, putting it back together, removing the keyboard membrane. I even like took apart pieces that you probably shouldn't take apart and literally cleaned those too. And eventually, I was satisfied, okay? And I put my Poo Phone back together. All right? I waited 3 days before I put the battery back in. All right? 3 days. And when I finally put the battery back in the phone, I fully assumed that it was just going to be dead and I wasn't going to be able to recover it, and it was just going to be my horrible shame for the rest of my life. But lo and behold, it worked. It came on, and there was still a little bit of water behind the screen. I don't even know. And eventually it dried out, and then the water kind of just like migrated outward, I guess. But the phone worked, and it still works to this day. I still have it. And the Poo Phone is just an everlasting monument to the terribleness that exists when you drop your phone in the toilet, and not only that, but drop it in the poo toilet.
Good to see you.
And there you go. There's my Poo Phone story. I hope you all enjoyed the Poo Phone story. I take donations for my misery. You know, so I could buy a new LG Rumor too. I bet you they still sell them too. You could probably still buy, like, they probably have like a revamped LG Rumor. Let's see if they got a new LG Rumor. Yeah, they do. They do have kind of like a new LG Rumor. That's interesting. It's called the LG Rumor Reflex S Touch. That's kind of interesting. It's made by Sprint. It has the same QWERTY keyboard. Looks like it's more of like a modern smartphone than the older. You dropped your Razer cover in the toilet, and it got stuck, and we had to take the toilet off and run a cable through it. Wow. You flushed it down, huh? That's some hardcore. Yellow and mellow. Oh, there was no smell. I mean, once I had rubbed every single bit of that phone down with alcohol, 99% alcohol, there was no smell in the phone. I mean, I'm pretty sure the liquid that was actually behind the screen, I'm pretty sure it was alcohol, because I pretty much just bathed the phone in alcohol. Bathe the phone in alcohol. If you guys are unaware, alcohol works better than rice. So rice may be dry, and rice may be a desiccant, you know, in the form that it sucks up moisture. But alcohol, when it evaporates, literally takes moisture with it. It's a much better desiccant than rice is. So when you rub the like 91 or higher percent alcohol on the device, it actually will take the moisture away with it when it evaporates, which is basically why you clean off like a Poo Phone with alcohol, not just to you know, disinfect every fiber of the phone's being, but also to remove any trace of moisture from the phone, so that it doesn't short circuit. Oh yeah, boys, a Ral rune. The best of the runes. Best of the runes. Not even death can save you from me. Alright, boys, I think this is going to be my last one. It's been fun. I got to go to work tonight. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Baldur's Gate, so be prepared for that. That's going to be fun. The Baldur's Gate. Come prepared with your D&D books in hand, and school me on D&D, because it's been a while since I played. Also, I've got a couple videos coming up. I think tomorrow is the Heart Carver. I think it's the Heart Carver. The Heart Carver Rondell. And then after that, I think I've got the Jade Tando coming up. And I haven't quite finished the thumbnail yet, or anything for the last video. It's going to be the top 10 worst uniques, to give you an idea of what the top 10 worst uniques are that I'm going to have in this video. I literally have Viper Fork, Radamant Sphere, Kinnan Mills All, Alma Negra, Templar's Might, Moonfall, Storm Spire, Storm Spike, Atma's Whale, and Skull Splitter. Those are my top 10 worst uniques of Diablo 2 Resurrected. So look forward to that video. That video will be coming out probably within the next couple days. That's pretty much it. As always, I'd appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and Apple sucks.